We see an ordinary working man running from client to client in order to sign deals with them. After a long, hard day of continuous rejections, he has finally succeeded in trapping on clients, fulfilling his quota. He is all prepared to get that sweet, sweet promotion and is heading back to the office to celebrate with his co-workers. Meanwhile, a criminal steals a gun from the police station and the police come after him and drop him to the ground. They struggle for a while and the criminal accidentally shoots. The bullet hits the hero right on his chest. He drops dead right there thinking about his promotion and celebrating with everyone. A voice of God sympathizes with the unfortunate soul and reincarnates him to a world just like Earth but with magic and monsters. Our normal worker reincarnates as a white-haired 15-year-old boy. The first thing he witnesses after being reincarnated is a dragon flying right above him in the world of Galdardia. Again, the voice says it will grant him basic knowledge, and if he wishes to survive, he has to say status open. As he says so, these stats appear in front of his eyes, just like a video game. The voice informs him that his race and age have been predetermined, but the other things he may decide for himself. After saying so, the voice disappears and the boy names himself Luciel. He chooses his skills: assess mastery, martial arts, magic control, and finally, monster luck. For his profession, he chooses healer, as he wants to stay back and not face monsters like the dragon he saw earlier. He looks at his only fortune, 3 silver coins. He then decides to go find work. While walking, he stumbles upon a monster corpse. Luciel runs away, getting scared as he does not want to die again in this world. This time, he plans to die as an old man. While running, he comes upon a huge wall where the guards are checking IDs and collecting toll fees from people entering. Luciel tries to enter, but the guard asks for ID. He says he has no ID, as he was raised in a small village. He became a healer, but his village had no use of him, so they cast him out. He also expresses his desire to train at a clinic. The guard asks him to wait, and he heads inside. This makes Luciel believe that he might have messed this up. He thinks if he indeed messed, he will just run away as fast as he can. Just then, his train of thoughts is trampled by a lady's voice asking if it was him who wanted to join a clinic. The woman, whose name is Lumina, is so beautiful that her beauty makes his mouth open wide, and somehow he manages to utter that he came there hoping to find work as a healer. Hearing so, Lumina offers to take him to the Healers Guild. Luciel asks the guard about the toll, who informs him they don't collect tolls from healers. Luciel thanks the guard and looks ahead to find Lumina already far away. He runs as fast as he believes he should never keep a business partner waiting. But he ends up bumping into some adventurers and falls. The adventurers sternly tell him to look where he is going and ask him where he is headed in such a hurry. Luciel tells him he is headed to the Healers Guild, and the man asks if he is a healer. Instead of answering, Luciel ends up apologizing. The man shouts at him not to apologize. Then, he warns Luciel that if he becomes a corrupted healer, he won't go easy on him. Luce agrees and says it's his motto to become the earnest and most ethical healer who people can trust. Hearing which, the men leave. Luciel finally relaxes but gets scared by Lumina's voice saying a little altercation won't kill him. Also that she was ready to step in if they had laid hands on him. Hearing her say so, Luciel thinks she might be really tough to stand against those men. While walking through the town, Luce is absorbing the fact that he really did get reincarnated. Suddenly he asks Lumina why he did not get charged at the gate. Lumina informs him that only the Empire charges healers tolls. Here they understand that healers deal in a matter of life and death, so they get preferential treatment. Hearing this, Luciel becomes really happy, thinking he lucked out due to his monster luck skill. As Luciel asks if a healer is a special job, Lumina agrees, and states that it is particularly because he is in the Republic of St. Cherule, home to the headquarters of Healers Guild. As they enter the building, Lumina formally welcomes Luciel, and he gladly starts thinking that being reincarnated was indeed a blessing. He is given a form to fill which at first he cannot read, but magic runs through his eyes, and the text turn into Japanese, which he fills out just fine. The reception lady called Kururu talks to Lumina in a formal way, which makes Luciel think she must be an important person. While filling out the form, he realizes he does not know the name of his village, so he thinks playing dumb might be the right choice. Luce asks Kururu whether he could just write village, as he does not know the name, shocking Kururu. Kururu thinks of him as stupid and just lets it slide. While she goes away to process his documents, he asks Lumina if this town has a name. Lumina thinks he really is ignorant, and sternly tells him this is the town of Meritoni in the Republic of St. Cherule. Luciel gets scared and bows to her, saying he will try his best to learn. Just then, Kururu re-enters and hands him a card, telling him to channel his magic. While choosing his skills, he did choose magic control. So he focuses and the card glows. Suddenly some writing appears on the card. Lumina tells Luciel that Kururu is entering his card into the Healer's Guild Magic Network, which will allow him to use it at any guild around the world. Kururu comes back after finishing registering him and tells him he can use Magic Control and Holy Magic Affinity, which he chose. Seeing everything is in order, Lumina takes her leave, but Luciel panics, thinking if she leaves he won't be able to get a job at a clinic. He shouts to make her stop and tells her he has never used holy magic and might not know how to. Lumina gives him a scary look and asks what he means. He calms himself down and asks if that would be a problem, and also informs her that there were no spell tomes in his village because he is the very first healer there. She then realizes that he is an ignoramus and has no choice. He is so happy she believes him that he cries. He asks if he can do an apprentice at a clinic while he learns. Kururu is about to answer him, but Lumina interrupts, saying he has 3 options: Spartan training, taking a loan out, or becoming an apprentice. Spartan training, where he will study hard till he gets the basics and keep reciting until he runs out of magic and repeating it after his magic replenishes. Taking a loan out means he joins a school and graduates in 3 years. However, he will have to pay the guild 1 platinum coin. Apprenticeship is where he will do various chores while learning magic in his free time. After finishing this, she makes him choose. Luciel gives it a good thought, as he thinks apprentice sounds reasonable, but he is not sure if he will have free time. Taking a loan basically sounds like a student loan, and his previous life experience tells him how brutal that can be. And he thinks Spartan is cramping for an exam. However, he thinks if he can work towards a quota, it might be a good choice. His first skill, Assess Mastery, will tell him how much experience he needs to improve his skill. This leads him to choose Spartan training. Hearing him choose Spartan out of his own choice, Kururu thinks he really is stupid. Kururu takes him to show him his room. Luciel thanks Lumina and promises to repay the favor someday. Wishing him good luck, Lumina makes her way. Luciel checks his room and finds a spell book, and decided to finish the basics in 10 days. He learns the basics and tries some magic, but does not see any results. But when he sees his stats, it seems to be working. He uses all his MP up and feels like a hangover, so he rests. After he recovers, he thinks he might be able to reduce magic consumption and learn magic control and handling, so he thinks of prioritizing them. The next morning, he wakes up in a panic about being late to his office, but realizes the reincarnation was not a dream. He starts studying and practicing again and again to make a better life in that world. After a while, as he checks his stat, the numbers are very impressive, which motivates him even more. Just then, with a knock on the door, a beautiful lady enters with his meal, and she introduces herself as Monica. By the 3rd day, Luciel successfully casts a healing spell. He updates his card with Monica, which costs him a silver coin. He then asks for the next step, while taking Lumina's name, which makes Monix return his coin, and she informs him that Lumina made arrangements for him to borrow a room for 10 days, making him realize she must have a lot of authority. He learns that she is the captain of the church's new female paladin regiment. He again thinks meeting her might have been a blessing, and thanks his monster luck calling it Sensi. He is happy he has 7 more days to practice, but the days after that are blank, so he goes out to promote himself as a healer. He thinks back to the information Monica gives him, that 1 normal healing will earn him 1 silver coin, and that everyone must pay their dues to the guild. He thinks of making use of his business skills from his previous life. He thinks of finding a guild where he can work as a healer directly too. As he is walking, the adventurers from before call for him. Luciel goes near them to apologize again, where the leader's name is revealed now as Bazan. Bazan and his friends only look stern as they seem like chill people. Luciel thinks of asking them about the Adventure Guild, but just then a bunch of people call for Bazan, all injured. They reveal that they can't turn to a clinic right now, which makes Luciel think back to Monix's words that the guild has been unable to control the fees charged by clinics and healers. So a lot of healers have become corrupted, charging huge amounts of fees that most people have to struggle to pay. He remembers his promise of becoming an ethical healer, so he offers to heal Bazan's friends. Subscribe for more videos like this, turn on the notification, and leave a like to help the channel out. Thank you for watching.